What is going on, guys? My name is Hubert. Welcome to another video. Now today we are taking on Tomb King with Chaos. So just a little bit backstory about this player. I'm gonna introduce his name because his name was so long and I know I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm just gonna leave that name all the way till the end. But basically, he's a very good ladder player. I haven't seen him actually participated in a lot of tournaments, but I know that because I played him a lot of times. And what's really funny is that I normally do really well against top level players, but against this guy, I think my record so far is it's 4-1, and he won 4 games against me. And this game is actually the first game ever I won against him. So basically, I lost him with a Chaos against his Orc. He actually butchered my Chaos with the Azak and the Spider Queen, and that really got me thinking. And then for all the rest of the games, he was playing Tomb King, and he's obviously a Tomb King main, which is really interesting because I haven't really seen a lot of Tomb King main except this guy. So I tried my Empire, which I failed. I tried with Lizardman, I failed. I tried with Chaos the first time and I failed, but I have a feeling that I can actually win against his Tomb King with Chaos. It's just the execution was really awful because I basically got my Lord really just suicide my Lord very early into the game. And so this time I got him again on the ladder. I was really excited. That's why I just, basically trying to just basically use my Chaos. Sorry about the beeping. I'm gonna switch off the phone now. So basically, I was just really excited to fight him one more time. And let's introduce his army though. So he has a really unique playing style. Like I remember one game he was camping the terrain piece. Like there was like a really big wall here, and here he just basically camped like in a box formation. And here you can see he's playing a really box formation as well. So let's introduce his Lord in command here, which is none other than Arkan the Black himself on a skeleton warhorse, looking absolutely pretty, with the Tomb Blade of Arkan. And this is a 5-time use, summon a larger unit of skeleton warriors, which is really good. And 120 seconds cooldown. Staff of Nagash, which is very good at recharge the power rate of the ability like minus 30 seconds of the ability recharge, which is nice. So you basically pop that, and then you pop this immediately, so you can summon another unit with 90 seconds. And then you have Liber Mortis, which is like an AoE plus leadership, really good for Tomb King for undead units in general. Plus 44 physical resistance, which is huge, like it's insane. And then as a Deathcaster, he's rocking Fatal Buna and Spirit Lich, pretty mandatory stuff. And then my will be down, which is just basically another variation, but it's plus 5 melee defense, plus 5 melee attack with a huge radius. Like you guys know, I have introduced numerous times that I absolutely love this kind of spell, like Empire, hold your ground, my will be down, and also there are a couple more abilities, but basically this AoE plus that buff is huge, especially in infantry fight. And then alongside with Arkan the Black, he's got 2 Tomb Princes. Actually, this is kind of his signature build, like just 2 Tomb Princes alongside with Arkan the Black. It's actually quite effective, and these guys together can actually dish out a lot of damage. And then I'm not sure whether this ability got changed. I think it got changed. Oh, there you go. So basically, this is the damage buff for the Tomb Prince. And then Tomb Prince has access to Guardian, which is pretty good. How about this guy? Yeah, this guy basically brought the same thing. So that buff, and this guy doesn't have Guardian, which is very efficient. You only need one Tomb Prince to have Guardian. So if I was being a smart ass, I would kill this prince first. But luckily I wasn't really smart enough to notice that minor detail. And then we got 2 units of Ken Rain, which is very efficient actually. And for the infantry, he's got 1, 2, 3, I believe 3 tomb guns, just standard ones, silver shielded, very good melee defense, decent amount melee attack. I believe these guys are actually anti-infantry. No, they are not. Okay, my bad, they are not, but they are very solid. And then at the back, skeleton spearsmen, actually 4 of them. And in the center we have 1 unit of skeleton archers, and the other one is the blast legion of fucketh. So fuckers. Sorry. So basically these guys are these guys actually do a lot of damage because they have access to this armor sundering. So which means they can actually lower opponent's armor by quite a bit, and that they have access to 22 ammunition, which is nice. So for the core of his, I think he's testing, because this is the first time I saw him using Casket of Souls. So this is basically artillery piece in my opinion, and that is, it's looking gorgeous, but I have never seen people really utilize this piece that often. But as you can see here, 909 missile damage is no joke. 20 ammunition is very good. 440 range is absurd. It's the longest hitting artillery piece in the game. And also, this guy actually has 80 armor, which is very good in my opinion. It's very good, but compared to the melee stats, it's really weak. So it's quite interesting. And also he's got some interesting buffs. Covenant of Power. Okay, so that basically constantly regenerates the power reserve. Wow, that's a Winds of Magic battery basically. Wow. And also this guy has a mandatory 15% missile resistance. Oh, that's new. And then Tomb Scorpion. So I remember he brought like a couple Tomb Scorpions before, but this time he only brought 1. Now let's jump into my army. I have an infantry line all the way through the sun till the sunset, with marauders on the flank, Chaos Warriors at the center, 4 units of them. There you go. These guys are amazingly good in this matchup in my opinion. They trade so well against pretty much anything on Tomb King roster. And then more Marauders on the flank. So 3 Marauders on left flank, 2 Marauders on right flank, and 2 Chosen Halberds on right flank. In my opinion, these units are probably the strongest infantry in the entire game. But the only thing I dislike about them is that even though they have like immense amount of stats, an immense amount of HP and you know, just basically everything, but the thing about them is that they do not have ITP, which is immune to psychology, which is basically what's gonna make an infantry viable. Because I have so many games chosen just basically rout because of a charge from a dragon, or maybe just one terror causing unit, and I just see like 60 of them just rout and shatter straight away. So I believe if CA really wants to make Chosen viable, just give them immune to psychology. Like, I have no idea why these guys should not have immune to psychology. They should be causing terror, in my opinion. But unfortunately, they are not at the moment. And in my opinion, Chosen helps least love. If you really like Chaos, just basically spend CA foreign and asking for immune to psychology for Chosens. And if I'm a dedicated Chaos warrior, I will definitely do that. And then I have 3 units of Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. Discuss this, no further introduction. They are very good. They have missile, they have AP damage, and they have 360. They can shoot while moving. They're just decent. And then Lord in Command here is a Chaos Sorcerer Lord on a Manticore with Law of Death. So basically he's rocking with Arcane Conduit, Spirit Leech, Life Leeching, and that's it. Now, finally, let's dive straight into the battle. Right from the get-go, Chaos is just basically pushing in. And I already fought this guy like 5 times already, so I knew exactly how the game is gonna go. And then look at this move here. Immediately there's a Spirit Leech casted on the Archon the Black, and there's a Fatal Buna casted on one of my Chosen Hubert's units, because he can actually analyze the biggest threat among everything here are these guys. So if you can do damage straight onto Chosen Hubs early, it's gonna be super valuable. And he actually immediately noticed that and dropped down a Buna, which is huge. And of course, he actually ate a Spirit Leech in the face in return, and then a couple throwing axes as well. And that artillery piece is actually targeting my Chosen Halberds at the moment, which is also very key move as well. Kenrain is actually just basically floating on the air, trying to dive in at some point. Look at the closer view of them. They're actually pretty good. Oh my gosh, look at those artilleries. I'm gonna try to catch another artillery. Let's see how it goes. See how that artillery is gonna land on these Chosens. There you go. There's another volley coming in. Oh my gosh, that was brutal. Now, let's look at the battlefield. Basically, Chaos is just pushing in from, just pouring into the flanks of those Tomb King boxes, while these skeleton warriors are actually firing into these Chaos warriors, but they have Silver Shield, so they're not really gonna take a lot of damage, which is nice. And then infantry is about to engage. We're gonna take some closer shots at Chaos warriors charging into those tomb guns. Looking gorgeous. Alright, let's see this fight from a more tactical perspective view. So right now on the battlefield, Chosen Harbors got really peppered down with the Buna and the constant rain of fire from that artillery piece. And then Karens are still just floating around. All my Marauder Horsemen still online and trying to just basically push into the flank. And here, Chaos Warriors are engaging those Tomb Guards without any support. Chaos Warriors will grind them down, but there's a Tomb Scorpion on the battlefield, and that Scorpion is gonna do really great. And now my opponent actually dropped a huge Liber Mortis, buffing the leadership, buffing their physical resistance of those Tomb Guards, which is gonna help them a lot, tremendously. And then I'm just basically trying to spread my infantry really out, because I don't really want to stack multiple units here. So I basically just throw those Marauders into those Skeleton Spears and just continuously pushing these two units further at the rear. and just basically try to push in. And then Chaos is pouring in from the right flank as well. Meanwhile, I'm just keeping a safe distance with my Lord to basically try to just continue to land Spirit Lich until I can black. And now let's see some cinematic shots. So Tomb Prince is about to dive into those Marauders. They decided to come back. So Marauders are engaged in the Skeleton Spears. This is actually a favorable matchup for Marauders, especially if they got a charge off, so they're gonna actually win in melee against the Skeleton Spears. And now I basically matched all his outside infantry 1 against 1, and look at here, there's another Fatal Buna casted directly onto my chosen Hubert's another unit. So these Fatal Buna hits are so good, like they actually kill a lot of models, which is just insane. And then more artillery pieces come in. My opponent is really smart at doing this, but look at here, Archon is actually getting peppered down really hard by the Spirit Lich, the constant Spirit Lich. But as Tomb King, he can actually heal a little bit whenever he casts spells, I believe, so he's gonna have a lot of staying power as well. And then Karen's actually decided to just dive onto that Manticore Lord, but the thing is Manticore actually can do a decent amount of damage. And also with the support of those Marauder Horsemen, Karen is not gonna do so hot. And Chaos Warrior is eventually gonna win this fight, if not supported, if those Tomb Guards not get supported. And these Trojans are fighting the Scorpion at the moment, which is the correct matchup. And then these Chaos Warriors are having a world of trouble fighting those Tomb Guards because that Tomb Scorpion was supporting this engagement earlier. And here, basically just Chaos is just overrun this Skeleton Spearman. Just basically pouring from this tiny little angle gap here. And also these Chaos Marauders are just basically trying to squeeze in from this gap as well. So finally just basically break into the box. Meanwhile, these Trojans and another very healthy Trojans are just basically coming, trying to just basically occupy the center pocket here. The artillery, those 2 Skeleton Archers, and Tomb Prince and Archon. Now, let's take a look here. Marauders are coming in. These Marauders are actually chasing those. Actually, they made into the Archers, which is huge, you know. And these Trojans actually pour in as well. Now they're gonna fight off that artillery piece, I suppose. There you go. Now Trojans are onto this artillery piece, which is the right target. It's armored, and it has a lot of mass, which means Trojan Halberd is gonna do a lot of damage to them. More Marauders are coming in as well. Like this Skeleton Spearsman is about to just basically crumble to death. And then there you go. I'm gonna slow down things a little bit. Archon is about to die, but I think I ran out of Winds of Magic as well, so I can't really land a kill right here, right now. But here, I actually, like the Chaos actually has 5 units about to just pour into the box of that Tomb King army, which is absolutely huge. And for the front line, those Chaos Warriors still just holding the line against those Tomb Guards. Archon the Black still has 442 HP left, which is not a lot. And then those infantry needs to just spread out and just basically dive into the back, occupy those archers, and need to really move faster. And then these battle actually resolved as well. Those Chaos Warriors are practically at full health after they clear out an entire unit of Skeleton Spears, which are nuts. And then there's a Spirit Lich casted onto my Chaos Sorcerer of Death. Like, this is the bait here. He basically asking me to dive onto Archon the Black, and then use Karen and maybe those Tomb Princes to catch my lord and kill him right there, right there. But the thing is, I actually fought for this trick because the other thing is like he was holding this spell, the summon Ushapti unit spell. So basically, if I land my lord and try to basically one-shot Arkan, even if I did kill him, I still just gonna trade 1 against 1, and if my lord is outside the equation, then my army eventually gonna die because Chosens, they don't have immune to psychology. That Tomb Scorpion and alongside with those Tomb Princes can actually win the game if played correctly. And at least that's what's happened last time we fought. Basically last time my lord actually died and then Chosens eventually just rout off. So this time I learned my lesson. I'm not gonna dive onto Arkan the Black, even though it's very tempting. As you can see, he's basically asking me to dive onto Arkan, but the thing is I'm not gonna fall for it. So I just quickly move away while still having a Spirit Lich in my face. So my opponent realized that I'm not really falling for his trap. He actually summoned a Ushapti unit here, tried to basically zoom my Lord of the Horsemen away, and then try to get some real charge into this bulk of infantry here. And as you can see, it's quite effective. It actually managed to instantly rout 2 units of my Chaos Marauders. That's really impressive play here. So basically, Tomb King right now with those Karen Wraith and Ushaptis charging at the back of this infantry, Tomb King actually has like a savage situation going here. All of a sudden, and Arkan still online, still fighting. And he's actually engaging with the Chaos Warriors, which is not really a good matchup for him, but we'll see. And then those units are coming back, which is nice. And then this Marauder Horseman still online, which is really big for me as well. And then finally, I tried to target that Tomb Scorpion with my Marauder Horseman, but I did a little bit careless about the macromanagement. Actually put them in melee of the Ushaptis. I need to basically keep a safe distance with them, and then I also need to keep a safe distance with my lord as well. And then those Chaos Warriors are actually chasing Arkan the Black away. There you go. But so far Arkan is not really taking any damage from them. And the front line, actually at the moment, the Chaos Infantry is proven to be a little bit too much for the likes of Tomb King. And there you go, there's another great cast of Liber. What's that name again? Liber Mortis, basically buffing all these remaining Tomb King units. And eventually they're still gonna just get ground down by the Chaos Infantry though. Oh my gosh. And now there's another Spirit Lich. And there's a Spirit Lich casted onto Arkan the Black, and he actually managed to cast a Spirit Lich onto my lord as well. So my lord is dipping really low, and the Arkan actually survived. That's just insane. That Spirit Lich only did like 200-ish damage on him, which is incredible. Like he actually has a lot of magic resistance for no reason, because he should not survive that many Spirit Lich, but he did, which is very impressive. And I'm just gonna basically take a close look here. That's a summoned 150 skeleton warriors. Oh my gosh, that's a pretty large skeleton warriors unit. So with 158 health left, Arkan survived, and now Arkan is about to pushing in with the loyal Tomb Princes, Tomb Prince, and Tomb Scorpion, and the summoned skeleton warrior unit. And there's another Tomb Guard unit actually coming back from beating up those Chaos Warriors. Now we're gonna take some closer look here. I believe my the horsemen eventually gonna land a kill onto Arkham the Black. Some of them are out of domination. Took a lot of axes in the back, which is very careless from my part. And then I quickly put them away. Try to toss more axes, and then none of them actually connects. And there you go, one axe connect, which is nice. That's it. Big scorpion. And then he's still trying to dodge. Like, the dodge skill from Arkham the Black is actually very impressive. Finally, I charged all my marauders into him in melee, and there's more throwing axes. And finally, Arkham the Black, he is gone for good. And here, the center pocket, that scorpion still just fighting. But right now, oh my gosh, he's fighting a gigantic blob of chaos infantry, including chosen halberds. But oh man, he's so pretty. The attack animation from Tomb King, the Tomb Scorpions, is absolutely nuts. Oh my gosh. And then more Chosens are coming in. Tomb Princes are still here fighting though. That 2 units of Tomb Princes are still online. They're still fighting, which is very impressive. But the main damage dealer right now is this Scorpion. Oh my gosh, look at the animation, man. I believe that was like a splash damage as well, which is nuts. Just charging around, you know, get underground and then pop up. Look at how many units I have here fighting that Scorpion. Finally the Scorpion is dead. And now all that's left are these 2 loyal Tomb Prince, which one of them just got killed, and then another one got killed as well. And that's the end. Now this was a fantastic battle, and really close as well. As you can see, my lord almost died to Arkham the Black, and also just Karens. Like that's just nuts. And he also, keep in mind that he actually casted 2 Fatal Buna onto both of my chosen units, and taking a lot of that, like basically wiped out half unit. And he also has enough Winds of Magic to cast multiple Spiritual onto my lord and almost land the kill. And also he was baiting my lord to dive on him, and then with you know, the Summon Ushapti trick. Luckily I didn't fall for it, otherwise I would lost this game again. But I was very happy that I finally managed to beat his Tomb King, and it was quite happy in my opinion. And this guy Hubert J.Farnsworth, he's legit. He's really good, and I'm so glad that I had the chance to fight him multiple times on the ladder, and I'm always looking forward to playing him again on the ladder. And I hope you guys also enjoy this casting as well. And as always, if you guys enjoy my contents, please consider to subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button so you never miss another video again. And for now, Oracle Boss signing off.